This is now the interpretive dance hour?
Yes. And now we would like each of you to do your own version of the interpretive dance from Swan Lake.
Sweet! Can I get up here and do it? No.
But please remember, only camera one.
Oh, yes. Only camera one.
Dropped out. So if you guys want to get going.
You want me to just go and then we'll, is it going to record either way? I mean, if we're recording and we don't have it, it's not the end of the world.
Testing 1, 2.
So this mic
Testing,
is low. This
test.
one's very sensitive, so keep it down here.
Test.
This is the one we're going to end up passing. It'll be
Test.
nice if it's the one that's working.
Test.
We may have one more in a moment, but right now we have
Test. Test.
Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing
Okay.
1. Testing 1.
I mean, I can just kick it off and tell them we're working on a few technical issues, but bear with us as we go. Oh, we're good? Okay.
One,
Okay,
one,
we're live.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
good over there,
1,
John?
2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
I
3.
think we're live. We got everybody fitting in here.
All right.
Here we go. Oh, we got one more mic coming. We'll be right with you shortly. Please stand by as we experience some technical difficulties. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to go ahead and go with this. You good? We're all good. Here we go. Okay, welcome everybody. We are back at VMworld for another year. And here with vExpert Daily, we've done now for, this is the third year we've done this. So we get a few of the guys together, have a little chat about the goings on, the things are happening, things are coming up, things we're looking forward to. Just got out of the general session a little bit ago, and this is the first one to kick off with the Beat Brown Bag guys following up all day. And we'll be here every day in the morning to kind of kick off a scenario of who it is. So I'm Mike Letchip. I am a vExpert, have been the last few years, and I am currently with Nexenta Systems. And then we'll go through with each of the guys, get you a quick just intro who they are, and then we'll dig into it. So let's kick it off.
All right, well, I'm James Bowling, cloud architect for General Data Tech out of Dallas, Texas. Been a vExpert for about, 3 years now, I think. It's been my thing, yeah. So, yeah.
Awesome, welcome
Good
back.
to be here.
Up to you, Greg.
Hi, my name's Greg Stewart. I'm write the vdestination.com blog. This will be my fourth at VMworld, and I'm a 3-time vExpert. And it's good to be here. Thanks, Mike, for having us back. Pretty fun.
It's always fun.
I'm Kyle Ruddy. I blog at thatcouldbeaproblem.com. This will be my
Possibly
third.
one of the better blog names actually out there.
Thank you. I do enjoy it quite a bit. This will be my third VMworld, so good stuff so far.
Welcome.
Hi there, good morning. I'm Julian Wood. I'm a independent IT consultant / blogger. I'm also a vExpert, as we all are, standing in
all
this,
of us.
in
I
the
hope so.
vExpert
If you're
Daily.
not, you probably
If you're
shouldn't
not,
be on the vExpert Daily panel.
I snuck in on the side.
We actually don't know that guy, just showed up. He actually doesn't even know what VMware is.
So, questions about Hyper-V?
Nice.
Yes, Julian Wood, a blogger, independent IT consultant, vExpert, and been to, I think this is my third VMworld as well. So yeah, happy to be here. And
Well, welcome, guys. So we're gonna. I got a couple notes. Some things came out of the general session. I think one of the things that kicked off, the first thing they came up with was what was those top 10 memories. 10 years in. So what were the top 10 memories that people had? I think the only one that really got a good laugh was that his wife thought the cars were sexy. Put Danica up there. But what's you've been to, all of you have been to a couple of them. What's kind of the thing that you pick out was your favorite thing about VMworld as a whole over the last few years? Start with you.
honestly, I don't think it's a different one for each year, but it's just the sense of being with people. We're all IT people. We're happy to sit behind our screens in our grungy basements and tinkle around with the ESXi, but actually to come to a place like this and meet people, and loads of people on Twitters and blogs and that kind of thing, and customers who are doing some weird and wonderful and awesome things. And it's to actually make the human connection with people, which is consistent through all VMworlds. They get bigger, so there are more people to meet.
Awesome.
Yeah, and for mine, it's pretty much the same thing. However, last year it was definitely the hang space. It was a very social area for everybody to congregate at, and you could share lots of ideas. And there were opportunities like this that were there last year, as well as the V Brown Bag stuff.
Are you saying you're not sure about the hang space this year yet? It's darker. Everything was white last year.
Yeah, it was very white last year. It's very open, and I'm trying to remain open-minded about it.
I'm hoping the flow. It was a little packed this morning,
A little bit,
but always for the keynotes, it's always a little more packed. So
definitely.
I mean, we'll see how it flows with everything. So.
I still had my seat on the couch, so everything was very comfortable.
So you were good.
Exactly.
You were good.
It's good stuff.
I bet you're great.
Yeah, so I think really my first VMworld was always a great experience. That was in 2010. And the just getting to know everybody, getting to know the bloggers firsthand, people that you know on Twitter firsthand. But then I think one of my most favorite memories is the one in Vegas. I think it was 2011. The hang space they had there with the grass. I think that was one of the ones they had up on the general
2
session.
years ago, yeah, that's when we first kicked this off.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
Sure we
good.
did this.
That was a really good time. It was a really like park-like open setting, and it was just a ton of room for everything. So it was really cool.
I think that was when there was volleyball going on.
There was volleyball, basketball, giant chess set.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really good. I
have
really,
the blankets
I really
there, so
enjoyed it.
it's
I
very handy.
still have
The
3 of them
blanket
actually.
comes
We
up
use them all
really
the time. Yeah, so it's James.
Yeah, mine. Well, you know, my favorite memory, I'm kind of along the lines with Julian over there. You know, it's the one time a year that I get to come back and see people that I talk to online, you know, and actually get to come back and shake some hands and hang out and, you know, talk some tech and get a little crazy, you know, the way us tech geeks get, I guess. You know, getting a little crazy.
So
but-
some of the stuff speaking on that note, sir. So one of the great things that is pre-VMworld started is the Dodgeball tournament. Great charity thing. $14,000 to Wounded Warriors this year.
Yeah.
So great thing on that. James decided he should step it up a notch for the vExpert team this year, which I would say we came in what? Second, third?
Third. We came in third. Yeah.
So it was a fun time had by all, even with the wig and mustache, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of become my staple, I guess, for the dodgeball tournament is coming out a little crazy. This year we got a little too busy. Shorts ended up ripping, and I think everybody, you know, got to know me a little bit more than they needed to.
It was a little friendlier than anticipated, that was for sure.
But it's always fun. Yeah, the dodgeball tournament is awesome.
Awesome. I think it's a great concept. It gets a lot of people together, I think.
Yeah,
a little
absolutely.
bit before the show, too. So as we're going, the keynote this morning was a little more mundane, I think, than some other ones. I mean, what was your guys' take on just the overall feel of it? Do you think is it the releases? Is it the delivery? What's going to get people excited going into the show from this first day?
Well, it was interesting because I thought that they pretty much spilled all the beans within the first half hour, and then after that it was like a snooze fest, basically. They really should have like interspersed the customer stories in between the releases, because you know they came out with the vSphere 5.5 pretty much right away, and then all the SD
vSAN right away.
vSAN right away, and then everything Twitter slowed down. It was really interesting. So
there really just wasn't a lot of, and a lot of us I think knew that they've leaked it so much ahead of time.
Right.
We all knew vSAN
Yeah.
was coming.
Oh, yeah.
We all knew 5.5 was coming.
Yeah.
There wasn't that like big bang yet. I mean, maybe we'll see it
NSX,
later in the week.
software-defined networking, we knew that was coming, and when
they just
Nicira,
renamed Nicira.
right?
I mean,
Pretty much.
have you guys all worked? Have any of you worked with Nicira yet, or NSX?
Only in the hands-on labs.
What did you do the hands-on lab here already?
Yep.
Or what did you think of them? I'm hearing great things about the hands-on
It's
lab
fantastic. It's so much better than in years past.
already. Really?
Very stable.
What's making it better right now? What are you seeing?
Well, you've got two sections: the traditional labs, where you've got rows and rows of computers you can do, or there's the BYOD, so you bring your own laptop. I did that. You don't need any View client or anything like that. You obviously don't need a Citrix client either. But
That would be awkward.
That would be awkward.
Not that didn't happen a few years back or anything, but that would be awkward.
So yes, literally point your browser to handsonlabs.vmware.com. You go through and do the labs all on your screen. Worked really well. I actually did the NSX lab yesterday, which was phenomenal. It's a very long lab. I didn't actually even get to finish it. Part of it was issues with my, I didn't do a single tick box, which put me back about 20 minutes of stuff.
Oh, that's always painful.
But yeah,
well, we've all been
just
there.
Seeing NSX and how simple it is to deploy, that you take your, the lab goes through, you have 2 clusters, 3 data centers over multiple sites, and you create this virtual network over the top, and it's literally a couple of clicks that you stick it on, add VMs onto that, and it's done. And then the whole software-defined space of moving the routing between different, through different places was just such a simple thing to do. So yeah, labs are really good. People should definitely check it out.
Nice. Have you guys are there any other labs that you know you want to do yet? Did you look? I mean, a lot of you have already looked at the hands-on labs already. I know they started really trying to push those at the vMugs too. That people are able to do them at vMugs when they're home.
Well, ultimately, it's the same infrastructure. There are no labs hosted here. It's just vCloud Hybrid Service or whatever they're using, public cloud labs. So ultimately,
had you guys all heard of VCHS coming into this? I mean, I think we all, most of us at least, heard about it. That seemed. I thought they would have had more splash to talk about VCHS. They seem to really want to press it before, and then they go through a keynote and like, by the way, we have VCHS, and we do OpenStack. And thank you, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
There was no energy in this session. There was just no energy at all.
Yeah.
Normally I'm used to the energy that they get. During those. I come out pumped about the new stuff. Well, now we all knew about it. So were we pumped?
then?
But did we know about it though? That it was because we're paying attention. I mean, a lot of people who can't make it out here, or your standard customers. Do you think they had already heard about it too?
I do, because I've talked to customers. They're like, oh, hey, so what about this being released this year at VMworld? And, we've heard all about it. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Okay, so it's not so exciting anymore.
So if we didn't get the energy from them necessarily, there's, as always, probably the largest trade show floor of most conferences out there right now. Have you seen, with the welcome reception last night, a lot of guys got to walk through it and see it. Was there anything that just jumped out at you right away about the trade show floor?
Trade show is always a really exciting thing to go to, and I think that's where I get most of my energy from, and find myself 3 hours on the floor there, and time just flies. So
I like going through the 10 by 10s.
Yeah,
the small booths, because there's always somebody you don't know. There's somebody there that you've never heard of.
Yeah, and they're usually the ones that have the most interesting products, really. The ones that are just kind of popping, and so those are always really good. The smaller booths are good, and even some of VMware has an incredible booth. Always does. And they have incredible hands-on stuff going on, and whiteboarding and all kinds of good things. So yeah, I think it's exciting.
How about you guys? Is there anything on the trade show floor specifically you saw so far?
Bigger, better booths. People are more marketing money, obviously being spent. The thing is, it is enormous. And yes, you go in and you see the Citrix and the EMC and the HPs and those kind of booths. But down the side, the small guys, there are so many companies. So you're talking of big global recession we've gone
vendors.
through. And even VMware saying, oh, we're building all these ancillary products. If there are all these other vendors out there who still have products to sell to complement virtualization and cloud, there's a lot going on. So
that's very true. Very true. Anything else that you're looking forward to along the show? I mean, so how many of you were at VM Underground last night?
Yeah.
All of us? I think all of us. New venue. So, I mean, the guys obviously have done for years now, but great job putting it on, I thought. What did you guys think of the venue this time and the party as a whole? It's a great party to get everybody started. Yeah. I think it's nice to get everybody together, as many people as you can together. I mean, they could hold 700 people last night. So
it's kind of nice this year that it was partially outside, which was good.
I enjoyed the outside area was nice.
I did enjoy that part because it's a lot of the places yesterday were really hot, man. So
it was really hot in San Francisco yesterday.
Well, I mean, if you don't count,
it's never hot in San Francisco.
Don't count running around throwing dodgeballs. That's
that's true.
Obviously, but outside
it was that. I forgot about that. It was a little
nice.
warm playing dodgeball in a gym with 300 people standing in there.
Yeah. So no, it was a good venue. I enjoyed it. That was my first time. So.
It's your first time at
VM Underground? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's great. For those people that don't know at home, it's a very community-driven party. Mm-hmm. A lot of the sponsors, all sponsor-driven, but not. There was no stage presence. There was no we're going to give you something. I mean, everybody had some tchotchke.
Yeah.
I think all the vendors.
T-shirts. Yeah.
T-shirts, something. Yeah. Had the Twitter feed up on the screen, so that was nice.
Yeah.
Thing to follow.
Good
so.
touch.
Yeah,
is it bad to have organized all your social gatherings before checking out what sessions you're attending? Because that's the thing, all the parties come out, you've got to get into VM Underground like that, you've got to get into CXI party like that. us being vExperts are lucky. Sometimes there's some queues we can bypass. But that's bad. You have all your social things done, which stresses you out, and then you're like, oh yeah, we've got labs to attend to, we've got some sessions to sign up for. It's crazy.
I think I'm
Awesomely crazy.
definitely in the same boat on that, because I think the session sign up, it was like, oh, I should probably sign up for some now. See if I make a few sessions.
Well, the networking's always a huge part of VMworld.
And you can always watch the sessions recorded afterwards.
Right, yeah, for an entire
It's
year, right?
like, as long as you're meeting the people that you need to meet to ask the questions for that networking, whether it's this networking, whether it's somebody from VMware. I mean, somebody giving a presentation, just because you didn't make their session doesn't mean you can't go up and talk to them right afterwards.
Sure, right.
I mean, I think that's one of the nice things about this show is if there's some technology that you want to know about, you can walk up afterwards and talk to them.
Yeah, that is really nice. Yeah.
Big thing having that access.
Is there anybody then that you guys know that you, I mean, like you said, with the vExperts tend to get a bigger network and you grow the network. So, and that's one of the things to this show, that if you're not in those groups, don't think that you can't get that network. I think a lot of people come and they get a little dissuaded and discouraged.
What you say about the sessions, also the group discussions. Now, sessions are recorded, you can go and see that. Group discussions aren't. I think it's maximum 45 people. You can do group discussions with Martin Casado. I mean, he's the guy who did NSX, with Cormac Hogan, Duncan Epping, with these really clued up guys, and literally sit for 45 minutes and ask questions of these gurus. So
Yeah, it's like having this with guys that wrote the
that
software.
know stuff. Yep.
They actually are smart. It's weird.
No, that's a phenomenal thing to be able to do.
And those, I saw a lot of those were more open. When I actually went through some of the sessions, people were signed up for 300-person sessions to hear something. But some of those group ones, there were definitely some openings. So if there's people that are trying to get into them now, they can should be. There were some openings as of last week, even when I was looking at. So I mean, who knows if they filled already? But I mean, if you can't get into the sessions, or you're sitting around and you've got some time in between, what's the piece of advice you tell people to do while they're here? They're either at the show or they're trying to watch online and follow along. Is there something they should kind of keep an eye out for? Should they be following Twitter for different things? Or is there some kind of keynote or keywords, I should say, that you think people should be following? Other than just watching the at VMworld, because that's going to kill you if you try to watch that Twitter handle.
Yeah, definitely follow the VMworld hashtag. Definitely check out the Solutions Expo and definitely the Hang Space. There's lots of people that are always around in the Hang Space, and there's lots of resources available.
So all of you, obviously you came, you had your first the first show you went to, and with first VMware I went to, I went to a ton of sessions. I didn't know as many people. You do session. You don't nearly get as much out of it, in my opinion, as I have since then.
Yeah.
What was the step you guys had to take to get you past that I'm going to a session all the time, to really start kind of networking better and getting to know people? What's your tip you could give people to kind of get away from the sessions a little bit? Go to the sessions. They're good sessions. I think VMware would not be happy if we say don't go to sessions. But
I think, in my opinion, you need to be very selective about the sessions. Go to the ones that you absolutely can't live without seeing live, like the group discussions. Go to those because they're great information. But the best part of VMworld is the other discussions that we get into in the hang space, or just standing outside, or at lunch. Yeah. Get involved with that kind of stuff, because that's really where you're going to pick up knowledge.
And don't think just because you weren't initially in the conversation, you can't add something to it.
Right,
absolutely.
Speak up. Absolutely. They let people like me into this place, so...
and that we have no idea how that happened.
So...
Between you and the guy over here who doesn't even know what VMware is, this is the worst podcast ever. What about you guys? A tip for one? If you give one tip, what would you say?
Yeah, I would say just don't be shy. A lot of guys come here.
I have a problem with that.
Yeah,
rather shy.
Yeah, just haven't been on Twitter, or just haven't really been out in the blogosphere or anything like that. Just sit down at lunch with a bunch of people you've never seen before, get to know them. Pass business cards. That's kind of the best way. I kind of worked my way into.
So, I think, and see if you guys agree with this. If there's a blog that you read that helped you fix an issue, look it up, figure out who wrote it, and then ask around, because that guy's probably here.
Yeah,
and
very correct.
Even if you'll get to chat with him, even if you just want to walk up and thank him because he helped you fix a problem. I mean, for those of us that end up writing a lot of those, it's nice to hear that somebody actually read what you wrote and it made a
I mean,
difference.
that's a self-reinforcing thing. I mean, bloggers love creating content, but to get the feedback where people appreciate it and like it, it's going to make you write some more.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. mean, my other tip is don't hang around people you know at VMworld. If you've come with your company and you're their 5 colleagues, don't have lunch together. Don't go to all the sessions together. I mean, you can do that back at the office. If you, I mean, even vExpert, a lot of people you know, VMUG is a brilliant organization and you know 10 people from your VMUG, don't spend all your time with them. It's all the other people that you need to see. And yeah, definitely go and speak to people there. You even see the VMware execs coming around, go and shake Pat Gelsinger's hand and say, well done on the keynote or something. And it makes him feel good and you get to meet the guy, yeah.
I think that goes along too. If you're going around the solutions exchange, wow, I can't talk this morning. As big as it is, if there's a product that you start talking about, don't think you have to stand there the whole time. Like if you're talking to them, like, hey, can we talk more? Let's grab lunch and we'll talk about it. Those guys would be more than happy, just about every one of them, to walk away for a few minutes, spend the time and really dig deep with you on what's going on.
But that's a good point for the solutions exchange. You need to, I'm going to use the word attack it in a proper way, because there are 300 odd vendors. You could spend all of the time there. If there are things that are interested, then drive the conversation, because they're going to be sales guys there. You're going to go through the whole spiel in 15 minutes. And if you know enough about the product, just say, your stuff is awesome or great, can I ask just this kind of thing? And you can land up doing 10 vendors in 10 minutes and finding out all those brilliant nuggets of information you need without having to spend a whole lot of time, which frustrates you.
And remember that every one of those booths has a tech guy there at some point.
Yeah.
So don't think you're going to have to listen to the spiel every time.
Right.
I mean, you go up, get the swag, listen to their spiel for a little bit, and then move, get to the guy. They'll talk to you. They will, but at the same point, they're trying to get to the next guy standing there too. If you don't, you want to get to the meat of it, and really know. You get one more tip. You didn't get tip yet, did you?
Well, I mean, technically I did, but it just goes back to the networking. Be social. Don't be afraid to talk to anybody. They're just like we are.
Would you this little area we've got here, where it's a little bit smaller than last year, but now we've got the brown bag sessions going on all day today, and the next few days, all week. I was getting to that. Now I'm getting heckled by the V Brown Bag crowd. Good Lord,
They're
can't do
harsh.
anything here. A lot of sessions that maybe aren't full sessions, 15, 20-minute lightning talks of guys coming out about something that's probably a really cool topic that you didn't recognize or maybe didn't get a full session.
Yeah.
So all week, it's in the back of the hang space. Either watch it online. It's streaming live the whole time. So as long as that internet stays solid for us, and we'll get that the whole time. So I think those are sessions you don't see all the time. So I think we're about up for today. So thank you guys all for joining me again today.
Thank you.
Welcome back to VMworld and to the first installment of vExpert Daily here on Monday, and we'll be back here for the next few days. Keep online, and we'll pay attention to the V Brown Bags. Thanks, guys. See y'all soon.
Thank you.